Hello, fellow creatives. We're back on Building Evolved. How you doing? Hope you're doing all right. This time, I get to build something I've really been looking forward to, which is the first shrine in my not-so-Buddhist temple. So we're going to build a pagoda. And I think along the way, I thought I'd share a little bit about what I learned about how real-world pagodas are built. So a lot of the pagodas are like 5 stories. One in Japan is even 7 stories tall, and they're basically, hang on, I'm reading my notes here. They're basically built that high because I guess either relics of Buddha or Buddha's remains are stored at the top, as close to heaven as they can get, I suppose. So we're going to do that kind of thing, except we're not going to pretend that it's like Buddha's relics or whatever, because I don't want to accidentally, offend someone, but hopefully we get to kind of do something a little authentic here. So I've gone ahead, I've built the platform out. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6, basically. And I am placing my pillars right in the middle. There's a central pillar that goes all the way up to the top, and we're using adobe pillars basically because I have an acquaintance called NeoCryptor, and he sent me some screenshots of a build he did some months back that was kind of done in this style. And it was pretty good. So I'm kind of going to borrow some ideas from him, which is namely that when we do the walls here, we're going to want to flip them around so that they are on the outside in. So this, no. This, yes, this is correct right here. Let's see. There we go. So you basically want to do this all the way around, pretty much. When you're going to get to the entrance, which I am going to have to be these central 2 walls right here, I'm gonna sprinkle in a little bit of Structures Plus here. Most of this stuff you're going to be able to build on vanilla if you're building something along with me. So this is how I'm going to do it. Is basically like this, and then I'm also going to build this too high and then put in some double doors on both of these so that when you go in, at least the bottom ones will open up automatically if you're on S+. But together they look pretty imposing, so I'm kind of going with the double door thing there. But then you just kind of go all the way around like this, and I'm just going to spend my time on one wall here, just so we can kind of sample this out a bit. Can I do it right, please? Oops. And there we go. And then I'm going to build up one more. So I want to do 3 high, basically. Here, yeah, you're just going to have to pay attention to how you place them so that they place correctly. All right, but once you have all 4 sides built, I think what I'm going to do next is build out the deck plating around this a bit, because it does kind of extend outward, and depending on where you're building this, you may not have to bother with this, but I'm going to build myself a decent looking kind of outer deck for the front here, at the very least, so that we can get this looking good. There we go. And that'll let me jump right up here. Awesome. So now we have this. I'm going to go ahead and bring it all the way across so that I can kind of just make sure that I can visualize what I'm doing here. And then I'm gonna. Do I want to cheat? I'm gonna do it. I cheat in all my videos, so why not? Let's just do it. Okay, so when I do this part, this stuff right here, this platform down here, I didn't have to bring it all the way in like that, because there's no ground peeking out through there. So I brought these out one on purpose. I built these up on purpose. Can I build that there? Thank you. So that I can basically have an adobe wall right here. And I don't want the lower snap point. It's going to snap to the top of the ceiling. I actually want it to snap to the top of the foundation. So that's the upper snap point. That way you can just kind of see this whole wood thing right here. So that's kind of what I'm going for. And I want to do that all the way across. So it's not that tricky. You just have to pay attention where you're placing them. Sometimes they'll do that, I guess. Yeah. Okay. So, you kind of get the idea, but we're basically doing that just to kind of make this interesting. One thing you should know in this spot where I'm building, there was a giant tree like right here in front of the entrance. I know I said in the last Building Evolved video that I didn't want to cut any trees down, but I think this makes more sense because when you're coming up on it from the entrance here, you'll actually be able to see up through this little gap in the trees that's here now. So you can actually kind of see it. Otherwise, it would have just been shrouded by trees, and you wouldn't be able to kind of see this whole thing. So it's kind of a good thing, I think. All right. So anyway, once I get these in, I'm going to go ahead and put pillars down like this up to, about right there. I'm going to do that in the middle and in the corners so that it looks kind of nice. Let's just do that. There we go. And I need to do that over there too, but I'll get that in a minute. And then I'm going to put wood ceilings right here. So I'm going to snap them to the outer wall here. I'm going to bring them around. And I want to keep the same kind of wood grain kind of going the same direction. So I'm just going to do that. And then let's bring these all the way across. You see how they kind of double snap? That's because of the pillar, I think. Yeah. So we just kind of do that. That makes it pretty easy. So, I can get rid of that. That's too high. That is way too high. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Once you're good with that, you can basically get rid of this. But if I do that right now, because I don't have the other wall built up, it ain't going to help much. So I'll put that back in a second. What I want to do is I want to put a sloped wall here, because I think that's going to help. So I want it to face the other way when the green side is facing me, and I flip it around, and that way we get the outside facing. And you're going to do the same thing for this corner too, so it kind of makes a nice little corner view. And then we'll do stone ceilings, stone roofs for the tiling. And this is kind of how it's going to work for this whole thing here. Is we're going to kind of build this up 5 stories high in successive stories. So you're kind of seeing how I'm doing it, right? Did I get window frames? Did I even bother to put those in? I have some, but I don't know why I didn't do that. For the front, I wanted to put in some window frames up top, and I totally spaced that. So I think I'll do that right now. Okay, that's cool. So now we have this. We need to kind of work on down here still. So before we get up there to start the next level, I am going to go ahead and work on this. So to do that, I'm going to use these adobe railings. If you're going to be building in vanilla, I would suggest you use wooden railings because I'm going to use those on the upper stories. But for here, I want this kind of half wall option that S Plus gives me. And this is just special for the first floor here. Just kind of, there we go. Make it a little different, a little special. And then, of course, on that side, too. And I haven't thought about where to put the ramp to get the entrance of this yet. So I'll figure that out, probably off camera. Let me get rid of this rain here. All right, so while I was off getting rid of the rain, I decided to finish off this first level here. So it looked kind of complete. So that kind of looks a little weird. I don't know if I want that, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put a half wall here. I thought maybe you could just kind of walk through it. Oh, come on. Just cooperate, please. That'll work, I guess. I thought you could just forget it. I'll fix it later. Okay, so I goofed up. I done goofed. You don't want the pillars on the very edges. You want them right here, just one before the edge, because this is the way your roof is supposed to look if you don't have roof at corners. And we don't on this server. Otherwise, I was very tempted to go with Eco's Stable Structures mod because it has this kind of corner piece. But we don't have that available in the vanilla set or the Structures Plus set, so that's kind of what we get to live with. As a result, we get to put a pillar right here and a pillar right there. So let me go over here and let me fix this side because I haven't done that yet. So just got to get rid of this and get rid of this in the corner there. And I'm just going to bring them up from the very bottom. Oh, come on. Oh, does it not want to? There it goes. Now it wants to cooperate. Okay. Awesome. Sometimes, you know, you have to kind of... Oh, I totally didn't finish this side. Oh, well, I'll fix it later. We'll do it live. Darn it. Okay. So next, we're kind of satisfied with the front, I think. I'm happy with it. We're kind of going with a simple layout. One thing I wanted to point out is when you're putting these ceilings in, see how they radiate this direction from the roof? You want to do that on all sides so that the snap points kind of are still attached to the side of the to the side that they are a part of, rather than just like say if you bring out a ceiling this far and let's see, and it's like this, and you bring this in this orientation all the way down to here. When you get down to this other opposite side here, when it's time to put these ceilings in, there's going to be a gap right here between the wall and the ceiling. So you want to snap them to the side of the wall that you're on, is basically what I am trying to say. So this next bit up here this does not hold true. This rule does not hold true, I have found. Because when I was working on my test build, you want the interior snap points to kind of be the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to offset this like so, like this, just on the corner here. And we're going to go all the way around. Oh, actually, maybe you don't want it on the corner. Let's just do this. Let's put this offset thing on the front here, and we'll go across, and we'll go around like this all the way. You want it to snap to the same spot. You want the wood to be in the same orientation, because when it comes time to build the interior, we want it to be the same so that we can have kind of a balcony going around the interior. So we have to kind of find the snap point that makes sense. Oops, it was just there. Oh, I just had it. There we go. Okay, great. So yeah, when you're going like this, it's going to be a little tricky. You just got to make sure that the grain stays the same. And when you get to the corner piece here on the end, you may have all sorts of different snap points and none of them quite line up. Don't worry your pretty little head about it. It'll be fine. Just find the one that looks decent and go for it. There we go. It's a little off, but I mean, who's counting? We can try maybe one more time. There you go. So that kind of works. I mean, it kind of overlaps a bit here, but who's counting? Okay, so this is all temporary, but you need the grid to line up pretty well, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting walls here. And we're going to be doing the same thing, just aligning them to the outside. So we need to go all the way around like this. Okay, and of course you want to build it 3 high. One thing I would maybe suggest, if you this just came to me, if you're having trouble getting materials for Adobe, because it is a pain in the butt, maybe use stone walls. Use the same pattern, so that I think will work pretty well for you as a substitute if you guys are having problems. I should have mentioned that up front, but I totally forgot. Okay, so anyway, once we're done with this bit, we need to go inside and we need to build in the first balcony thing. So this should attach. Yeah, it should attach right through these walls here and allow you to just go all the way around like so in a nice little ring. Yeah, this will work great. So once we do this, okay, I goofed. I don't know what happened. I think my team viewer got in the way. It has this little thing that hides under my game window, and if I click in my upper right-hand corner, it steals my focus and wants me to connect to another computer. It's really kind of annoying, to be honest. But anyway, once you got this ring done, we need to do one more thing to ensure that this sucker will stay up. And this is the magic trick, guys. We are going to go ahead and we're going to place a ceiling right here, and we're going to basically intrude it so that it kind of goes into this one and into the ones we just placed. So if you want to do this step first, just so you can see them easier, I think it should work fine. But you want to ring this. You want to make sure you ring it all the way around. because what we're going to do is we're going to, well, you know what? I won't spoil the surprise for you. You'll just have to keep watching. Once you've got the inner ceilings kind of interwoven into the middle of this mess here, we're going to remove the outer ones. And like magic, these walls should stay up. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to hope as we go around that I didn't miss any. I could have. I had a little bit of a screw up off camera. So we're just going to hope that this all stays up. And if it does, we will be in good shape. Okay, yes, it stays up. Basically what you were doing was attaching it to these corners, this outer edge here, the walls underneath here. So once you have this done, we can go ahead and put wood railings up here. And these things, if you have foundation support turned off on your server, these things will actually hold up the entire structure, even if you remove all the foundations underneath. So it's kind of weird, but okay. Okay, that explains that. I would just pay attention to some of these snap points and just make sure you have the outer ones if they are a little off, and they probably will be in some aspect, some point. So I wouldn't worry your head about trying to get it perfect. That is the way to madness, I say. Having spent hours and hours trying to be perfect, trying to get these things down, it is a pain in the butt. So anyway, let me finish this up, and then let's go look at our handiwork. Okay, hey, not bad at all. This looks pretty good. So the next thing you're going to do is you're gonna iterate on basically the steps that I showed you. Your next bit is to go ahead and put down these roofs here on the edge and build out your roofs. And then when it comes time to lay your ceilings for the next floor, I would move around in a counterclockwise or clockwise fashion as far as when you put your ceilings down. Remember last time we put our ceilings down on this side, the front side. So if I'm going clockwise, this next time I'm going to put my ceilings down in the middle of this side here on the 3 o'clock side. That way, you don't get a leaning tower effect, is what I'm trying to say. You might not notice it, but if you're going really tall, like 7 or 8 stories, you will, if you build the same way on each side, you will get kind of a leaning sort of look to your tower, which you don't want. So in interest of keeping everything kind of even, I'm snapping to this side. And the reason you kind of get a leaning look to your tower is because the snap point, like the X coordinate or something for this, will be slightly different than the X coordinate for this one. Just kind of how it goes. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to build up the rest of these tower pieces because you guys, if you're building along with me, you should, oops, my phone, excuse me, that's my wife saying she's coming home. You should have enough knowledge to do the rest of this on your own. So we'll see what your towers look like, and then we'll come back for the roof piece, which is going to be quite different. It's a new day, and I'm up at the top. We've built the ceiling up to our 5th level here, and now we're going to go ahead, and we've got everything here. Instead of doing this and offsetting again, we're going to go ahead and build out like this. Oh, wait, first, need to build a pillar up 1 more, maybe 2 more. Let's do 2 more just for good measure. And then we'll add the ceilings. So just right here in a square formation, I would, it's not really strictly necessary, but just if you're going to build an interior up this high, maybe you should have the wood grain all pointing in the same direction. But anyway, once you got that, what we need to build the roof. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put these sloped roofs here, like so. If I can get them to fit just all the way around like this. 3, 4, and then this one should be 3. Nope, we're doing 4. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead, and I think what I want to do is I want to build a roof out like this. So, here's how you're going to do it. You're going to start on the right side first of the part where you're starting, and then you're going to start on the left side here. And that's basically so that you can clip this through the roof here. If you weren't familiar with this trick, You need to do it in this clockwise direction. Otherwise, you will not be able to clip your ceilings through. It's kind of a weird quirk of the way ARK does roof placements. But if we just go around like this, we will cap it off in a nice, almost kind of nice kind of pyramidal shape here. Okay, there we go. So now that we have all this done, you can see we've got a nice roof here, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to build this up. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10, but we'll do 9 for now. And we're going to add in these rings, and there are always 9 in any Buddhist pagoda. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there we go. We've got 9 hatch frames here, and they just kind of make a nice little ring shape. So I'm kind of going with that. And then up here at the top, we are going to put, I think let's put an adobe ceiling. This is kind of solid here. And this is what this tech transmitter is going to sit on. Now this thing is going to take the place of the decoration that sits on top of the pagoda, it's called a suyen, I think. It's shaped in the decoration of a nobleman's carriage. I don't know why. I don't quite understand the significance of this, but we're going to do it anyway. So the way I place this is I kind of do it like this so that the little arc of the outline up above is just kind of offset a little bit. And I click once. Basically, I'm pointing right at the center of this thing. I think that might be a better way to describe it. And then I hit once, and I hit K, and this will let me zoom out just to see if it's lined up properly. And if it's not, it's a little off here. So we're gonna try again. I'm gonna put it right at the center. I'm gonna put it right there. This will let me see if we've got it lined up correctly, and I think we do. So I'm gonna place it right there. And oops, I stood too close, so I'm gonna ghost my way out of this. Okay, admin sheet fly. And there we go. So we've got our nice little top of our pagoda here, sticking straight up through the trees. So that's kind of a cool feature. If you want, there's probably another little thing. Will this snap anywhere? I wonder if this will snap. Oh, yeah. So we can build up through the middle of this. Oops. Right up to the top here. And if you want to do this, you can. There's one more thing that sits up at the top. It's just a very small thing. I don't have it because I wasn't planning on doing it, but you could put like a chest or something up here. And this is actually, we could use this flower pot, I guess. That's a nice little shape. And it'll sit up here. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So let's put the flower pot right there, and we'll paint it so it doesn't look like a flower pot, but it's the chamber that's said to house the relics of the Buddha or whatever. So that's kind of what we're going to go for. So yeah, we've got a nice kind of multicultural sort of build here going. So yeah, let's go down, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do to paint this stuff. For these hatch frames, let me grab my paintbrush. So we'll move right on into painting. Let me do that. Hatch frames, what we're going to do is these, we're going to paint just red, I think, as red as we can get. So region 1 is going to be red, region 2 is going to be red, region 3 is going to be red, 4 is going to be red, and 6, I think, is the underside, so it's going to be red too. If you want, you could paint maybe region 4, make it white. So I think that might work. So you could do that, and that way the red doesn't kind of overpower the build. Although I don't think it's strictly necessary because the way the Adobe textures work, you can't paint the underlying brick. So I'm going to make that red anyway, just so we have a solid color scheme. And you're going to do that all the way down. These pillars, these pillars are all going to be red, all both regions, I guess. It doesn't look like that because there's another pillar overlapping it, but so basically this whole pillar here is going to be red. Up here, honestly, I'm just doing this on the fly. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with this tech transmitter. I don't know if you can paint it. It doesn't look like you can, so I guess it's just going to stay metal. And then we'll come down here. The roofs, you've already kind of seen a little bit of it, but we're going to go with a nice kind of forest green here. And we're going to do that on region 1 and region 5. So that'll make everything a nice kind of a foresty sort of green. So that's the way the roofs will go. These things right here, both of these regions are going to be red. And then for the walls, let's turn this around so we can see it. We're going to do the wood outlines in red. So that's region 2 and region 3. And then region 6 is going to be basically white. And region 1, if you're going to do the interior, that is going to be white as well. So that gives you a nice white look here. You can't really tell because of the brick. It doesn't paint, but the white mixes in pretty well. So it really kind of looks good once you get a huge wall of this stuff done. What else? Is there anything else that I am missing? I think I'm missing the pillars down below, so we got to do those. So these pillars, let's see. These pillars, let's see. Where's my regions? Let's do region 2 as red, and then regions 1 and 6 are going to be white. So that's kind of how I'm going to do those. And admin sheet walk. Let's go around the front here, and we can kind of see what I've done. I already painted the other 3 sides. These doors here, oops, come here. These doors, the regions 2 and 3 are going to be red. The door frames, region 1 is going to be white, so is region 6, and then region 4 is going to be red. And then the window frames are going to complement the roofs. So you're going to have these kind of look, in this look here with the region 1 and region 6 red and 2 and 3 as green. And these fence railings, if I can get up, yes, region 1 is going to be white. And then, you know what? Maybe region 4 let me paint it? No, it doesn't. Maybe you want to paint all 4 regions white. Although they don't really do anything when they're in the half slab version. So you might want to do these red if you're using the wood railings. As you can see, this is a weird thing with the S Plus that one side doesn't paint. One side doesn't paint. So I put the non-painted side on the interior here. Yeah, that's I think that's most of what we're gonna do for this episode. So here we go. Here's a good look at it. I think that looks pretty good myself. So if you enjoyed this vid, you're in luck because it's part of a whole channel full of ARK building videos. I didn't used to think I was very creative until I tried, so I'm making videos to help you be creative too. So please subscribe and then become a little more creative by clicking on one of the 2 videos on your screen right now. And then I'll see you next time. And in the meantime, go make something awesome. Bye-bye.